What's up everybody, welcome back to Inja's Garage. Today I'm going to show you how to change a clutch cable on my 2007 Yamaha FZ6. Really not that hard, and I did it without taking out the battery or the airbox. And having watched a video about it like I'm doing today, it only would have taken me about an hour to do. It took me a little bit longer because there's really nothing on the internet that shows step by step. Even on the forums, all the pictures were taken down. So anyway, I thought I'd just make a step-by-step video, high quality content, and make it super easy for the rest of you guys. It should only take you about an hour to do, having watched this video, because it's so easy to follow along. So let's do this. Of course, don't lose any of the small things like this bearing that was in the clutch lever. That would not be good. So last night the cable just popped off. That's usually how it goes. Cable's completely healthy at one point, and then you're riding and you just feel the just pop. That's just how it goes. But since I had this sitting around, I knew it was going to be a fix that I would need to do. I actually went ahead and picked one up, so we're getting it fixed today so I can ride tomorrow. Yeah, so Motion Pro coming in clutch, pretty high quality cable. Let's make sure it fits though. Yeah, so this Motion Pro cable is nice, brand new. I think I got it for right around $18 or $20. So yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's got the boot on it. Looks like it should be a great cable. So let's get this put in before the sun goes down. How about that? While I'm still here, I might as well just check the air filter. It looks great. I replaced it, I don't know, close to 7 months ago or so. And yeah, it still looks great. Okay, so you can see here that this is where the clutch cable runs. You can see it right down here. Let me push on it really quick for you. Alright, so there's the clutch cable right here. There's actually a clip that holds the clutch cable onto the frame right here. It's a little black clip that you can pry with a screwdriver. My dad having way too much fun on my cafe racer. This is such a hard thing to show on camera, but there's a clip right down here, and it's a very tricky place. So the smaller you can get, a smaller screwdriver you can find, the easier this is going to be. So to get the clutch cable out of this slave arm bracket right here, you just have to pry this little metal tab up and away, just like that, just enough to get it out, and just slip it right out, and that's that. You might as well leave this bent up like this, but don't worry about bending it back before you put the new cable in, because you're just going to slip it right back in there anyway. Okay, so now you can start pulling the clutch cable through the bike and out. Alright, so what I ended up doing, both me and my father, and he knows a lot of things, couldn't get this off. The clip's very rigid. It's one of those like circle clips that's disconnected at the end, and it has 2 anchors that go through a bracket like that. It has 2 tabs just like this that you try to pry on to get one side out, but you just can't. It's a very rigid clip. So what we ended up doing is you just pull it up a little bit with screwdrivers and then snip it with dikes, and then you can just pull the cable right out, and next step is just to pull it through the bike. Trying to pull it all the way through back out that way, it's not going to work. Snake it halfway up this way, pull it back through this way, and that works way easier. So the thing about clutch cables is they look healthy at one point, and then you'll just be riding and all of a sudden they'll snap. It's unfortunate, but that's usually how it happens. This one actually held on by a few strands, and so I was able to get home the night I felt like popping in the clutch. I looked at it when I got where I was going, and this is what I saw. Okay, so pulling the clutch cable through, since it's a 90-degree bend that you're trying to work through here, what will happen is when you're pushing it through, the 90-degree bend will do this and kind of come up into this frame area right here. There's a small space in the frame where it will just kind of wedge itself right here. I actually had one of these. These are like a little hook set. You can get these at Harbor Freight for literally $3 for an entire pack of assortment. And it's super easy to get this clutch cable. You just do this, and you can pull it right through. Just like that. So these hooks really saved. I was trying to get it with my fingers, but your fingers aren't strong enough since it's wedged so tightly in there to pull it through. But these hooks, man, that saved it. So then you just pull the rest through. That made it way easier. So now I'm gonna set the clutch cable adjustment here. I'm actually gonna emulate the stock. The stock worked great. By the way, these are two 10 millimeters, two 10 millimeter wrenches. All right, so this is the easy part. Just feeding it back through. This is the bearing for the clutch lever. Just give it a dab of lithium grease. This is white lithium grease, for your information. This is usually what you want to put on bearings of this kind, white lithium grease. But really, any automotive grease that's made for moving parts is going to do the trick. So originally I actually thought this cable was too short because I was barely getting it past this and whatever. But turns out it's actually the right length. So if this is the first time you're changing a clutch cable like me, just realize it's probably not too short. It's just I was thinking I'd have to like adjust the slave arm, the clutch slave arm to fit it right. But actually this is how it's supposed to be, a little bit tight, and then you just push it in there. And then you actually have to loosen it back up. So already that's feeling a lot better than it did before. Now if you guys didn't know, the skinny part of the key on your Yamaha key should be about the distance of free play. So yeah, that's fine right there. Some people, especially the older crowd, say a quarter free play. If you can stick a quarter in there, that's enough. And really to a certain extent, that couple millimeters isn't going to make a big difference. So don't even worry about it. But Yamaha does suggest that this little back skinny end of the key is the free play, and what I did is set it right in between a quarter width and the key width, so that's gonna be fine. All right, so you guys know the drill. Just put on the rest of the nuts and bolts and you're all set. So yeah, this project wasn't as, I wouldn't say it's as hard as you might think it is. Right when I was going into this project, I was thinking that it was going to be a really tricky task and I'd have to pull the airbox out and everything. Because I knew how it was done, I just had never done it before. But it wasn't too bad. I suggest just cut the little clip that's by the airbox. Don't even worry about taking the airbox out. It's really not that hard to do. And following the steps I laid out for you, it's going to be pretty easy. Just cut that clip. Don't even worry about messing around with it. It's a really tough clip. And what I did is zip tie it, and that's actually probably more secure than the clip that was holding it before. Alright, so before you button down all the rest of the plastics after you start putting stuff on, just make sure that you're liking the feel of this and make sure it feels natural. I can see that the clutch cable is pulling the clutch apart and separating so it's working really well. So I think that's gonna wrap this project up. Last thing you need to do is just put the plastics on and you're fucking done. So this is going to be how you will know for sure if your clutch is functioning correctly. What I would do is just take it just out of your garage, start it up, and see how the clutch feels. That feels way better, way better. Yeah, that's a huge improvement from what it was. It's definitely easier to pull, a little bit easier to pull, but it's way more responsive.